You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, guys, I'm pretty sure you guys know, if you've actually been watching this channel for the better part of the last 4 years, the trans invasion in sports has been way out of control. And in California, they're doing nothing, absolutely nothing to stop the trans invasion. They're actually enabling the trans invasion, folks. Whether it be A.B. Hernandez or, in this case, Blair Fleming. Now, Blair Fleming was a volleyball player at San Jose State University. However, he was actually at another school and took a year off before transferring to San Jose State. Folks, we know that the Trump administration is going after all of these universities, these states, because these blue states, man, they don't want the trans invasion to stop. They're hell bent on destroying female sports. But when it comes to this Blair Fleming situation, folks, the scandal, the cover up was probably worse than any other state, any other league. Blair Fleming never told anyone on the women's volleyball team that he was a male. However, the coaches, the administration at San Jose State, they knew it. They knew it. I believe it was last year when I actually put up a video. It was one of the players, and some of these former players actually suing San Jose State, by the way. One of them said, yeah, I was actually sharing a bed with this person. The university, the volleyball team, they were actually forcing females to room together at school with this male. Absolutely insane, folks. But the Trump administration, man, they did a probe into what exactly was going on at San Jose State University, guys, and it's really bad. These people need to be arrested. They knew that this was a male, and they actively pursued Blair Fleming to go to San Jose State University, really, because they knew this would be a huge competitive advantage, folks. Yeah, let's go ahead and dive into this. Here we go. So right over here, SJSU volleyball scandal probe finds team allegedly recruited male for advantage without telling female players. Yeah, they knew that this was a male, and they thought they had a huge advantage because this was a male player. Now, we know that the final season at San Jose State University did not go very well for San Jose State because there was a bunch of schools. Once they found out that Blair Fleming was a male, a whole bunch of schools forfeited. I believe it was something like 8 forfeits, 10 forfeits, something like that. And when San Jose State actually played, their record was only like 500, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Look here, it says federal findings state SJSU knowingly recruited a trans athlete to gain a competitive advantage over other teams. They went out of their way, folks. Look here. Quote, in April 2022, former San Jose State University women's indoor volleyball head coach Trent Kirsten began actively recruiting a male volleyball athlete from another university to join the SJSU women's indoor volleyball team, alleges official U.S. Department of Education findings. Quote, most, if not all, the female SJSU players shared intimate spaces with the trans athlete without knowing the athlete's birth sets per the findings. And that's really been backed up by the players themselves. Quote, the evidence is that at various times, most, if not all, of the women on the team at the time of sharing a dorm room, hotel room, and other locker room with student one were unaware that student one was a male. What happened next has become the subject of a years-long media controversy and ongoing legal dispute between the entire California State University system and President Donald Trump's administration. The CSU is suing to challenge ED's findings that determine SJSU violated Title IX in its handling of a trans athlete from 2022 to 24. Well, we know they violated Title IX. It's pretty clear. And by the way, this is actually the former coach at SJSU. The findings allege that SJSU's head coach at the time only titled Coach 1 in the files, but Fox News Digital reasonably believes that coach to be Kirsten said a trans athlete that he considered recruiting at the time was, quote, good enough to make us better. Fox News Digital also reasonably believes the trans athlete titled Student 1 in the files to be former SJSU player Blair Fleming. Yeah, because Blair Fleming was the only trans athlete on the squad. So it's pretty obvious. Quote, additional communications indicate Coach 1 stated that Student 1 texted him wanting to commit to transferring to San Jose State University. Coach 1 stated his belief that Student 1 is good enough to make us better, the findings state. Internal email communications provided by the university indicate the head women's volleyball coach contacted the director of the San Jose State University Pride Center and Gender Equity Center. They actually have this stuff, folks. To discuss recruiting a male volleyball player, Student 1, for the San Jose State University women's indoor volleyball team. Additional communications indicate Coach 1 stated that Student 1 texted him wanting to commit. The university knew Student 1 is male. Yeah, they knew the whole time, folks. The whole time, and never told the female volleyball players. Kirsten received a letter of support from one of Fleming's former coaches, the findings claim. Quote, a letter of support sent to the university from a former club volleyball coach from Student 1 states, quote, we had a team full of closers, hitters who could finish the rally easily. In a team that talented, Student 1 still stood out. At the time, Fleming just took a year off after one college season at Coastal Carolina in South Carolina as a scholarship player in 2020. So he was on another university playing on the women's squad. Yeah. According to an interview with the New York Times, Fleming, quote, wasn't fitting in at the school like many students during the COVID-19 pandemic and was struggling with mental health. Is that surprising? So Fleming withdrew, returned home to Virginia, and took a year off from school per the outlet, then received the SJSU offer letter in the summer of 2022. Kirsten allegedly communicated a dilemma on whether to tell the other players about Fleming per the files. This is where the cover-up comes in, folks. Quote, the internal communications also indicated a concern regarding whether or not Coach 1 should inform the women on the San Jose State University women's indoor volleyball team that a male player would be joining them, the findings state. Quote, Coach 1 stated he wanted to ask the women on the team their thoughts after they found out Student 1 was joining the team. But he did not want to relinquish decision-making power to the women on the team regarding whether a male player would be allowed to join the team. Think about that. The coach told the women, nah, we don't want your opinion. The New York Times reported that Fleming said it was important that the players at SJSU knew the athlete was trans upon arriving. Then Fleming and Kirsten reportedly discussed the idea of having Fleming write a letter to tell the other players, but the two ultimately decided that Fleming would tell other teammates individually once Fleming knew them better. Multiple former SJSU players have since come forward to allege they were never told by the university or Fleming of the athlete's birth sets before spending extensive time with the athlete either on the court, in the locker room, or in sleeping quarters, including Brooke Slusser, Ellie Patterson, and Alyssa Sugai, who claim they all found out through other means. Yeah. A massive cover-up, folks. A massive cover-up. And look at this here. We talked about this lady too, former assistant coach, Melissa Batty Smooth. She came forward to say she was never told of Fleming's birth sets. A complete cover-up, folks. Yeah, and so they are actually part of the former players, part of the Title IX lawsuit against SJSU. Yeah. And Melissa Batty Smooth, she was actually fired from SJSU over this whole thing. This is unreal, man. This is absolutely unreal. These people, the university needs to be sued into oblivion. The CSU needs to be sued into oblivion. People need to be arrested for this, folks. They violated these women. They betrayed their trust. They're supposed to be educators, but they didn't do that. They actively went out there and recruited a male thinking it was going to give them an advantage. Right there, folks. Right there in black and white. Absolutely unreal. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time. Welcome to blackwhitenetwork.com. School is out. We're running a sale, 17% off everything in the merch store, guys, including our new Freedom shirt that is normally $29.97, but you get 17% off, including hats also as well. Our best-selling shirt is our America 250 Bald Eagle Edition with the America 250 flag on the back. We're getting close, guys, to the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. We also have other merch in the merch store, including hoodies, zip-up hoodies, hats, America 250 hats at that, other merch as well. And don't forget to become members, guys. $10 a month. You sign up, you get a 7-day free trial. You can also save money by getting the annual plan. We do appreciate it. You can donate directly on the website, $5, $10, $20, whatever you guys want to give. We do appreciate the support.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.